Hello guys and girls and welcome back. It's your boy Big John here. That's at the bottom of the screen if you like to listen to my music. So is all the relevant information I'll be speaking about in this video. And today what I'm going to be talking about is supply and demand. I am going to be showing you how to use supply and demand on a higher time frame. And if you'd like me to show you how to use this in scalping, then let's make sure we get this video to 100 likes. So click that like button. But what I will be showing you is how you can use supply and demand effectively in terms of finding good sell opportunities and good buy opportunities. I hope you're going to like this one, guys and girls. Let's get straight into the video. Okay, so as you can see, I'm over on my chart at the moment. I got a nice annotation here for you guys and girls. You know how I like to break it down for you so you can see what's actually going on. I'm actually on the daily time frame at the moment, and I thought it would be better for me to do this just to be able to show once again clarity, higher time frame setups of how the market actually looks when you could be trading supply and demand. You're looking for zones of interest where there seems to be some type of order flow, a break of market structure, and then a continuation of that trade in that direction. You're going to be looking for a big buy that happened to get towards some type of resistance zone. As you can see here, there was a huge buy. Let me just get my tool out. There was a huge buy all the way here that came to this resistance zone. As price got to this resistance zone, then what we saw next is we saw a break of structure. We saw a break of structure, which is this candle here. So we saw price got to a resistance, then we saw a break of structure with this candle. So you might be asking me, well, how do you know that was a break of structure? If you look here, price pushed up and then it pulled back down. This was after that big move. So when it came here, there was actually a level of support here. So when it came up to this resistance level, this big candle here on the 22nd of October came down and broke this level of structure. So it broke market structure. So what we see now is that some traders might come into the market and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to find a way how to enter here because, you know, they want to make sure they get in straight away and they catch these pips. These are called breakout traders, and this is a breakout of a supply zone. So somebody that was looking for a breakout trade would have entered right here on the 25th of October, and they would have been in a position from here on a sell, but price did buy back up. Now, of course, what they would have had is they would have had their stop loss above this level here because they're looking to get a long-term sell in this trade. Now, they would have never got stopped out, which was perfect for them. But if you want to do something else and you want to be a bit more of a patient trader, now what you would have done is you would have been a retest trader. So a retest trader would have been waiting for the market structure to break, and then they would have been waiting for a sign to give them to show them that the market is possibly going to be reversing now. The sign we can see here, if we look carefully, is the market pulled back into this supply zone right here. You can see it. Then the market came back out of the supply zone right here. So then what happened now is where the break of structure was from that previous candle, you can see that the market is now going against that break of structure and is acting like a new level of resistance. So once you see a red candle off of that new level of resistance right here, it used to be a support and now it's resistance, this break of structure. Now what you want to do is you would have entered on this candle here. So you might be asking me, okay, if that is the case, so where do I put my stop loss then? Now I would suggest is realistically, you're not expecting price to go back into the break of structure. So some people can put their stop loss just above here in the break of structure, but I would say put it on the previous candle's wick that was left behind, or the body of the candle. So we would have put our stop loss just above this level right here, which would be perfect for us in terms of a trade. And you can see now that if we was to do that, this trade was actually, even just down to this level here, this trade was a 9.3 risk to reward ratio trade, which is amazing in terms of you finding a trade setup and what a trade can actually do for you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go on to the next level. As the market's going to continue moving down in its waves, then there's going to be other opportunities for you to be able to also find new levels of supply and demand. Again, you can use this on multiple time frames. I'm showing a daily time frame, and if you'd like me to do a scalping video based on this, then please make sure we give this video some thumbs up. Give it a comment as well. If we get 100 likes, I will make a video on a scalping version of this next week for you, no problem at all. So we can see straight away that here we had a similar thing appear right here. We had the market come down into here. We had a support level here, which is now the new market structure level. From when that level existed, now we can see that the market had bought back up and created a new level of resistance right here. So we wanted to wait for this market structure to break. So we can see that this candle was the one that broke the market structure. Again, the people that wanted to come into the market fast would have been the breakout supply zone traders. They would have entered on this candle here on the next day and continued to sell. The problem I have with entering somewhere like here is that we can see that if I wanted to put my stop loss above this level here or even above this zone, it's not a good risk to reward ratio trade for me, because I would have been looking to take price down to this low over here. So I personally wouldn't have taken that setup. I would have just left this trade and said, okay, I'll wait for the next setup to occur. You know, if I didn't hold this trade going all the way down from here, we can see that if we was to wait for the retest of this trade right here, so you can see the market broke, came back and retested. If we waited for the retest, then you could have got in this trade here. If you was to have entered this trade here, you would have been in on this candle right here, which would have been the 17th of December. Our stop loss would have been just above this zone here, and then we would have been looking to take price all the way down to this low here. Now we can see price didn't obviously go all the way down to the low. The market doesn't have to go to your exact level, but even here where the market went to, and for sure you would have had a break even on this trade, the market still managed to give us a 1.6 to risk to reward ratio trade. Again, not the greatest, but it was still something that the market gave us in terms of a trade setup. So you can see here just two simple ideas of how people trade breakouts or retests of supply and demand zones, and that is sell zones. Now we're going to go into demand zones. Okay, so now I'm on GBP NZD, and this is demand zones. Demand zones means buy zones, so they're buy areas of order flow where the market's going to go towards. It's going to create a nice little area where the market's going to want to create an order, and then we're going to see a breakout and a continuation of a trade. So we can see straight away here that similar to the previous setup, we had a huge buy that was going all the way up. Now we have a huge sell, as you can see, coming all the way down. And then when the market got all the way down to this long-term sell, we had an area of demand right here. So the area of demand that we had to wait for a breakout to occur right here. So as soon as we see that the area has broken out of this level, straight away from there, we can see that this is where most traders would have tried to get in on this next candle right here on the 17th of November. And they would have been looking for continuation. Of course, their stop loss would have been below this level here, and they would have been looking to hold this trade long term for a good buy setup. Of course, this was a fantastic trade that I am showing you, and other trades won't be as perfect as this all the time, but again, this is so you can understand the concept of supply and demand and what it looks like. I can make a video in the future where I show different variations of this as well. It's not a problem at all, but we'll leave that one for now and focus on scalping if you want that. Remember, 100 likes on this video. Come on, guys and girls, I know you can do it. We can see here that this would have been the breakout of the demand zone, and breakout traders would have traded this one here. Now, if we are looking at a retest, then we would have seen that these traders waited for this to happen, a pullback into the area. They waited for the break of structure zone to get tested again on the outside right here. The market never came back into this level. You can see these are just wicks. And then what we can see now is they would have entered on the 22nd of November, and their stop loss would have been just below this level here. So when their stop loss was below this level here, you can see how big this trade actually was for them. And that's what patient traders would have done. Those are retest traders. Retest traders do not get into the market straight away. They wait for clear signs of rejections and then enter the market. They could wait for candlestick patterns, they could wait for several different things, but more than anything, they wait an extra bit just to make sure that this trade could be the one they're looking for. So now when we go over to the secondary entry, we can see the same thing happened here. We can see the market bought up, then it rejected and created a new level of support. Once it created a new level of support, look for the break of structure. The break of structure was where the resistance of this sell started from. So we can see that this candle here was the one that broke the structure of this area. So when we saw that the market broke this structure, now we had to wait for what? Now what would have happened is the breakout traders again would have entered on this candle here on the 28th of December. Straight away, they would have been looking for a continuation of a buy on this pair. Of course, retest traders would have waited for what? This candle here to close and then entered on the next candle, because this candle closed closing bullish is showing them that, okay, the market seems to be above the break of structure zone. It's also bullish, so I'm going to give it a chance and enter here. And then their stop loss would have ideally been just below this level here for the continuation of the trade. So guys and girls, you can see what I'm talking about in terms of supply and demand, how it looks. I hope this really does help you. I don't want this video to be too long. I just want it to be straight to the point and what supply and demand is. Of course, you can trade this like this if you want to, but make sure you understand you will win trades and you will lose trades. Fundamentals, manipulation with fundamentals is what can make you lose trades sometimes. It can just happen. So you have to make sure that you understand this when you're trading. Not every trade, no matter how good and clean I'm showing you now, is going to be that way. But if you do practice repetition and you continue to follow your set rules, you know, you can use your own things with this, maybe a Fibonacci, etc. Now, of course, you can see these trades can easily catch you $50 to $1,000, and that's the reason for the name of the title. So please, guys and girls, if you like this video, it will do me a great favor. If you do like the content I'm talking about here, or if you have any questions you'd like to ask, please put them in the comments below. Also, at the same time, if you'd like me to make other videos in this type of nature and stuff like that, this was a recommendation from my Discord. Please put anything in the comments below or hit me up in Discord. And on that note, guys and girls, I'm going to leave you right there. Peace.